All right. Let's do this. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday and an even better weekend. Let's get into this. We already have a few chats here. Gretchen says, Happy Sunday, Matt. Well, happy Sunday to you too. Sunday Funday. It is always fun on Sundays, except for the fact that work is on Monday. So never that fun in that regard, but still, it is a Sunday fun day. All right. I got my beer on the side here since we are in the evening here in Toronto. Where are you guys in the world? In the chat, let me know. It is 8, so I'm assuming in Europe it's pretty late. Hey, how's it going, Drew? Thanks for joining us on this beautiful Sunday. Oregon, so that's Portland, like around, well, Portland is in Oregon. So that would be 3 hours time difference, I believe. New York. Okay, so New York, so you're in the same time difference as I am. Epidemic, how's it going? Evening, Matt. I'm just outside Hershey, Pennsylvania. So yeah, same time zone as well. San Antonio, Texas. I think that's 2 hours away. So that would be, if I'm not mistaken, you guys are actually earlier. So it is 5:47 there. Let me know if that's correct. Coach is in the house. Did you notice the MH2 collector boxes started to go up in price? No, I have not. Let me double check. Let's see what's going on with their prices right now. Sealed values. Wow. Yeah, it looks like the right now the low prices are $350, and these are American prices, by the way. Average is about $415, and the market price is $347. So the market price is actually a little bit lower than the low price, which is kind of odd. Yeah, that's definitely an increase from before. It looks like it's went up since last month 5.3% in price, and since last week it's went up 0.6% on average per collector booster box. Yeah, it is going up in price. Okay, 647. Okay, all right, so an hour difference. 445 for you guys. Chris is in the house. How's it going, Chris? The best pulls were uncommons. Yeah. Yeah, with your packs, unfortunately. That was funny to see, but not a surprise. Yeah, you know what? The older sets, they do have a lot of value in the uncommon slot. And when it comes to the rares, there's a lot of hit or miss. I've noticed with the older products. To be honest, it's more of an experience. It's never really the best idea to crack older booster packs, but it's still just so much fun to do that. And it's a bit of a gamble, but if you pay off, it just makes it that much more exciting. Wayne says, "Morning, all," and also, by the way, Jason, thanks again for letting us do this. This is amazing for the channel. Great to see some old booster packs open up, and hopefully, we have more to come someday. Someday, maybe if I hit 10,000 subs, but I'm looking to try to see if I can work out some deals here and there to see if I can get some older packs open on the channel. It's obviously a gamble, but I think it's just fun for people to watch in general. Morning, Wayne. Epidemic says, would you rather have a collector booster box in Mountain Horizons 2 or a near mint Suleiman? Ooh, very good. Very, very good question there. Oh, that's a tough one. Oof. A part of me says Suleiman. But at the same time, I think that the room to grow for Modern Horizons 2 collector booster boxes, I think they're going to go up to 1,000. Oh, that's a tough one. I'm going to say Suleiman, though. I do like Arabian Nights cards. Coach says, thanks, Jason. What's next? Yeah, I don't know. Jason says maybe if I hit 10,000 subs around that mark, when I get close to it, we can do another vintage pack opening. I don't know. That sounds pretty exciting to me. Let's see what we can do. Chris, been a pretty good day. Jason says, gotta wait for 10K. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Already have some stuff set aside for the stash. Might be more shocking than last. I just hope that I can actually pull you something decent. I mean, we did get some decent uncommons. We did get a few okay rares, but for the most part, it was a little on the bulky, compartments. Yeah, it was rough because as I was opening it, like I put on the suit, I wanted to put like a bunch of effort into even just editing that video. And as I was opening those packs, I was just like, I was starting to like sweat because I was like, oh, thank God I had the gloves, right? Because I was like, my God, like, are we gonna hit something spicy or what? What's happening here? And unfortunately, we didn't really get those heavy hits, but I think it was pretty fun nonetheless to open up. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video as well. Still not getting a lot of views though. It's really low on the view count. It's like 1,500 views for a vintage pack. We're opening Urza's Destiny. 1,500 views is unacceptable. We got to get that view count up. So hopefully we can do that. Maybe even today, if people haven't seen that video, maybe go check that out. All right, we're at 11 viewers right now, 6 likes. Hopefully we can get at least 10 likes by 8 o'clock. Wayne says, if you're opening old packs, though, it's going to nearly always lose money. 100% Wayne, I do agree. Compared to the value of the sealed pack. It's the experience that has the value. Exactly. And that's the beauty of having a YouTube channel. At least you can film the experience and share it with the rest of the world. And I hope you guys did enjoy that opening. I really enjoyed it regardless. A part of me, though, I felt bad because I really was hoping to pull good cards for Jason. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen that way. It just didn't, nothing came to fruition in that sense. But hopefully next time, if we do something like that, Jason, I did a poll on the channel, my community tab, asking about the booster boxes that you suggested in the email you sent me. And it looks like right now, Battle Bond is the front runner. So we'll correspond in the email and see if we can work out a deal where I can purchase one of those booster boxes off you. And maybe I can do an opening on the channel with that. Or, I could sell it to patrons or something. And we can all have a lot of fun opening that box. But it looks like Battle Bond is in the lead at the moment. Gretchen says, what is your favorite way to play Magic? I know you mentioned Modern several times. Well, Modern is my favorite. Modern is my favorite actual. Yeah, now I'm thinking about that. When it comes to format, Modern is my favorite. When it comes to casual, like when it comes to competitive, I mean, when it comes to casual, I love Commander. Modern, the decks that I use the most are Death Shadow, Grixis Death Shadow, Boros Burn, Infect, well, and the old Affinity, but that's not really a deck anymore. I used to use a lot of Hollow One, but that's obviously not a deck anymore as well because they banned Faithless Looting. And then when Pioneer, I played a bit of Pioneer. I play Is It Phoenix and Pioneer. But Commander, there's a ton of decks that me and my brother have both made. I do like the Dragon as a commander. I like Grenko Mob Boss. And I like Sliver Overlord as a commander as well. All right, let's get back to some more comments. Jason says, no worries, Mattcaster Mage. When cost basis was $5 under each, it was still fun to see. Not to mention the multi shout out and thanks. Well, you know what? If you had fun, like if you got those packs, back in the day, yeah, of course, you're not. If I open them, you might not see that appreciation in cash, but if you bought them for $5 a pack, I think it was a pretty good opening overall. But nonetheless, thank you so much. That was amazing. I was just truly blessed to have those packs show up in my PO box. Like even my wife, she saw how ecstatic I was when I told her that I actually received that package. And opening the video, obviously, I wanted to make it special. It was a bit campy, but I put on the suits and I put on the gloves because I thought maybe it would warrant it, especially if you got old frame foils in those older booster packs like Urza's Destiny. I definitely think that I should have had those gloves prepared and ready to go. Okay, so what else we got here? Epidemic says, speaking of that video, when did you realize Alliances were older than Urza's? Yeah, so the funny thing is I was like, as I was doing the dates on the back of the packs, I noticed I set them up. I might have actually ruined the order of them when I was setting them up for the shot. When I was doing that little that shot that was panning across the packs on the table. I noticed later. I was like, wait a minute. Foils were introduced after the non-foil packs, so like Tempest and Alliances should have came after actually later in the video than the Urza's Destiny. However, based on value, the Urza's Destiny pack, I think, is the most expensive. So either way, I think it worked out. But you forgot to add Modern Horizons 2. Modern Horizons 1. Yeah, here's the thing is, I'm not allowed to add an extra row when I have a poll. So I was going down the poll. I was typing in everything in the order that you sent me, and then I couldn't add the extra option. So we'll see. Right now, we'll leave Modern Horizons 1 out of it. I could only pick a selected few. Modern Horizons would be fun. That'd be a fun one to open up, especially considering Modern Horizons 2 is still very hyped right now. But maybe we can open that a little bit later. I know people are going to be interested in that 100% though. One of my local game stores cannot get Wizards Play Network, so they're going to allow self-made proxies. Wow. Not fake. So I may give Vintage a go. Why not? Try it out. Yeah, that sounds fun. Just do it. Hey, if they're allowing you to do proxies, why not? Vintage, I hear, is one of the best formats to play. I've never played Vintage myself. I've played a bit of Legacy, Pauper, Modern, Commander, and even Pioneer, but no Vintage for me. I'd love to one day, though. I'd love to play with MTG cards, but I'd be destroying the reverse dowry. I'm building for my wife after I die. You're building for your wife after you die? You're building a deck for your wife? Oh, that's hopefully you don't die, Epidemic. That's sounds pretty rough. Hopefully you're not sick. Chris says, I don't play much. I just love collecting sets. As do a lot of people, yeah. Especially now that, I mean, it's a little harder now that they have so many different showcase variants of certain cards. It's going to be a lot more difficult to collect complete sets now. 2X is in the house. How's it going, buddy? Thanks for joining this stream today. Always a pleasure to have you. Turnip says, I love building decks and playing against myself. Fine-tuning. You know, it's funny. Actually, sometimes when I be editing videos, if I had to render something that was taking a long time, or I had to export a video and it was taking a long time, I just pop out one of my decks and I would just start shuffling them, and I start drawing cards and then pretending like I was playing a game. I wasn't actually playing it myself, but I would just see like, hey, how good is this first hand? And I'd kind of play it out. Like, oh, that's pretty good first hand. And then I'd reshuffle and keep doing that again until my video exported or until my video rendered. And I mean, it was a good way to pass the time. It's a bit of the ADHD in me, I think, that led me to do that, though. Popper says, good evening. Good evening to you, Pat. Yeah, the Torment opening was fun. That was probably the best pack, actually. Wayne says, Legacy is pretty much invented by our play group back in the 90s. One of the Wizards of the Coast employees played in our group, and 6 months later, they supported it. We called it Type 1.5, though. Nice. Yeah, Legacy is can be pretty expensive to build decks in Legacy, but Legacy Pauper, like when it comes to like Legacy Burn, it's just slightly different than Legacy Pauper. So there is cheap ways to enter that format. 2X says, I love shuffling and mock draw. Yeah, it's so fun. It's relaxing too. It's like very therapeutic for me to do that. Turnip says, nice. Jason, I always sell and trade my new stuff for reserve list or ABUR. Yep. That's a habit that I'm trying to form myself. I do get tempted, though, if I'm trying to build a commander deck, or even sealed product will tempt me if I'm trading in cards. And I'm like, ooh, I could get some packs here. I could get some booster boxes. But yeah, I think a really good habit to form yourself would be to look to trade that stuff into reserve list cards, things that are going to at least maintain some sort of value. And you're not going to have to worry about the reprint hammer. Oh, Nichols says, hi, how's it going? Epidemic says, sorry, bad joke. I'm not sick, just a collector who likes for. No worries, man. It's all good. What's reserve list in ABUR, Jason P? Well, reserve lists are cards that are not allowed to be reprinted again, and ABUR is alpha, beta, unlimited, and revised. I can answer that for Jason. All right. Oh, by the way, guys, I did actually stock up on some, well, I still have some booster packs from my Zendikar Rising box. I have some packs set aside for anyone if they want to join the channel tonight or send a super chat, and we'll be cracking open some booster packs. Hopefully we actually pull something good. The last while, I haven't had good luck cracking open booster packs during the live stream, so hopefully Maybe we can change that luck here tonight. Gretchen says, I really enjoyed your guest appearance with Joey Moss. Have you ever thought about asking Rudy, the floppy taco guy, to join you? I haven't approached him yet. However, I don't know. Like, once YouTubers get to a certain level, I just feel like it's almost pointless to even reach out to them. However, I've gotten his friend on the channel for a Mattcast, Edwin. If I were to get Rudy on the Mattcast, I'd probably try to do it through Edwin. So if I could talk to Edwin, maybe get him on another Mattcast, maybe before we start recording, I could ask him a few questions about that, and maybe he can give his contact more formally, and I could say, hey, I'm a friend of Edwin or whatever have you. But I don't know. I just feel like my channel is not big enough to reach out to Rudy. If I get over 20,000 subs one day, knock on wood, I don't know if that'll ever happen, but if it does happen one day, then maybe I could reach out to him and I wouldn't feel so embarrassed to do it. Right now, I feel like I'd be embarrassed to even try to reach out to Rudy. I mean, ideally, I'd like to get Rudy. I'd like to get Tolarian Community College onto the show. There's someone from, the command zone. There's just so many people I'd love to get onto the Mattcast, but just I have to be realistic about it and understand the limits of what my channel are right now. It's still pretty small. I'm in the growing stage, and I've been pretty fortunate to have some pretty highly esteemed guests already right now. I mean, I've had Bad Boy, I've had Max Makes Magic, I've had, well, not yet. The episode isn't out yet, but next week you'll actually see Jake and Joel, our Magic. They're going to be on the next Mattcast. So I've had some pretty decent draws for the Mattcast. However, they just don't do that well when it comes to series on my channel. They do the worst out of all, like the repetitive series that I have. They do worse than, the Where is the Value series. They do worse than obviously the market movers, the random buys, the thrift store videos. So I enjoy doing them, but and if those videos get a lot of views, then it's easier for me to use those as a draw to get bigger creators to come onto the Mattcast where I can do a nice interview with them. And with that being said, I'm going to go back to the comment sections. Epidemic says, did I tell you I scored a near-mint bottle of Suleiman this week? Too bad it's my last purchase for a while. I'm out of money till Christmas or my promotion goes through. Yeah, I think you did. You might have actually commented that on one of the either the live streams or one of the market movers. But yeah, if you're out of money till Christmas, just try to stay in there. Manage your money well. That is a ways away. And also remember, Christmas time, you're going to spend a lot of money on family and friends. So money's going to be tight. So, be careful out there. 2X says, make a business case for Rudy to join. I could try. I mean, it's possible. I just don't want to blow my load too soon. I'd love to have him on one day, but if I ask too soon when I'm just not that established, it's not going to go over well, I don't think. Wayne says, until recently, Rudy didn't even do collabs. Yeah, Rudy, for the most parts, he's one of the, I feel like I would even have a better chance of getting Tolarian Community College onto the Mattcast than I would Rudy. Even though I know Tolarian Community College, he kind of looks at the MTG finance community with a bit of disdain, but I feel like he'd be more interested in collabing. I don't know. Rudy, he's very wealthy. His channel does well. He doesn't even need his channel. Like, he has enough sources of revenue and income that he doesn't really need the channel. It's just fun for him to do YouTube videos. So I feel like to get him to put away time to do a Mattcast, he'd have to genuinely enjoy my content, or just, I would have to win him over in some way. I just don't know how to do that right now, but I would love to have him on the Mattcast. Who knows? We'll see one day. JL says, I learned so much from your conversation with Edwin. Yeah, that was one of my favorite Mattcasts. I'm glad you enjoyed that as well. Chris says, your channel is plenty good enough to have them on. I might think so, but at the same time, I still think that the numbers matter, right? Like, you got to see the numbers. If those numbers don't add up, some bigger YouTubers are just going to pass you by. Wayne says, I think it would be nice to see this story on. Yeah, I might message him. I've been thinking about messaging him. I just have been a little reluctant because he is of the bigger channel persuasion. And I feel like the moment I reach out to one person and if they don't reply or whatever, it'll kind of sour me a bit and it might be a while before I approach them again. So we'll see. I want to get him on though, for sure. Jason says, could always part with a Mirrodin or Scars Mirrodin for a break too, maybe. Ooh, yeah, 100%. You know what? Mirrodin's great, but Scars Mirrodin is almost just as good. Scars Mirrodin is fantastic. Although foils in Mirrodin are worth a lot. So that would be really cool, especially if you get a lot of foils in that box. But 100% hit me up with that. I might be able to pass that by through a community poll and see if people are willing to participate in that opening. I think it sounds good. Chick Knowles says, do you think PSA slabs prevent card degradation in the long term? I think so. There is also alternatives to PSA, like, well, Beckett and even smaller companies. But I'm actually putting out a video on Monday after my market movers that'll actually talk a little bit more about grading and alternatives to that. Wayne says, pro Tim wealth means nothing. He is still human. That's true. Buy him a taco. That might win him over. Maybe I'll do some Uber Eats and I'll put it all the way in Florida and send him the best tacos in Florida to his house. Maybe that'll win him over. Edwin would be a more reasonable one that would chat for a bit, I'm sure. I've already had Edwin on. Yeah, I would love to have him on again, though. Because I feel like we kind of left our conversation unfinished. And we barely talked about magic. We talked mostly about crypto, finance, gold, the economy, inflation versus deflation. It was one of my favorites Mattcasts to listen to, even later, because he has so much knowledge, Edwin, and it just has really good perspectives on the economy that I really enjoyed. Mirrodin would be one of my favorites. Yeah, that'd be a great box to open up. What about the guy from TYSO, take your socks off? Yeah, I thought about that's funny that you said that. I totally thought about that as well. He did have Talarian on, which is surprising because his channel wasn't even his channel's. Yes, he is a celebrity, like a Hollywood celebrity, but his channel wasn't that big. I'm wondering if he must have paid. He must have paid to have him on. There's no way he just got him on for free. He must have paid Talarian, but either way, that was really good. That was actually a really fun podcast to watch. How about a Bad Boy plus a story and plus Mattcaster stream of some sort? This way you can go through Bad Boy, and that may help it get traction. Bad Boy and the Historian are great guys. Yeah, they're both fantastic. I'd love to have them both on. JL says, did you watch the Carl Jobst video on graded video game manipulation thoughts? I did not, although I've seen other people talk about it. And it is interesting. Shill bidding is definitely a problem. And the fact that they don't actually have a population count of the graded games is very suspicious. It's something that I think should get more attention. Well, I think it's good that it is getting attention, but that is one of those things where it's very reminiscent of like the hockey card, baseball card, sports card era in the 90s, where I feel like there's going to be a big bust when it comes to graded games. There's a lot more out there than people realize. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, it could be a bit of a house of cards, but I'm very, very interested in this story, and I'm going to watch it develop from other YouTube channels. I know Blue Ridge Silverhound, which is a channel that specifies mostly in coins, like silver coins. He talked about it briefly as well, and he talked about the population count and the fact that they don't even have that. It's very shady. It's very questionable. So I don't know. I personally don't grade any games, so I'm not exposed in that market. But yeah, some of the prices for these games are just absolutely unreal. It's, yeah, something's going to happen there. I'm just curious to see how this whole thing transpires. Okay, let's see. You've got a few more comments here. The Bad Boy cast was sweet. 1K views. If only Mattcast was a real word. Yeah, I know. That's true. Made up words don't tend to do well with the algorithm. Yeah, I know. Like someone brought that up. Like they think I should change the titles of all of them, but it's like I did the animation with the Mattcast that I made, and I say the Mattcast in all the videos. I feel like I have to use the Mattcast at this point. It's a shame that they don't get a lot of views, but yeah, the Bad Boy Gaming one did okay. But overall, those Mattcasts just don't do well for whatever reason. Adam says, looking forward to the video, Matt. Got a Nearman Odyssey squirrel nest foil. Really cool. And want to know how to take care of it. Well, penny sleeves and throw it in maybe an Ultra Pro binder of some sort. How much do those go for right now, though? I think they're decent price. Let me just check. I would suggest getting it graded, but I'm just going to double check on the price right now. It's always good to keep in good condition anyways. That is almost $90 for a foil right now. I would say if you're talking the original Odyssey, yeah, try to just keep it in a sleeve, put it in a binder, and maybe just sit on it and wait. I don't know if it's expensive enough to put it in a slab, but it could one day get to that point. These are old foils, right? Anyways, yes, so I do have some packs. If we get some members tonight, any super chats, we'll crack a few open on this stream. Hopefully pull something nice if we do get to that point. Let me just read a few more comments here. Wayne says, games is something that I know a lot about. I've held myself back from commenting on videos because there is a difference between collectibles games and common seal that will crash. That's a fair point. What do you think about like Super Mario Brothers 3? I feel like that game was printed a lot more than people think, but those are going for ridiculous prices right now. Sealed, especially graded. Gretchen says, what do you think about D&D set? The D&D set, I thought it was a little underwhelming. Yes, I do agree with that. I heard it was to replace the core sets. Yes, it was. So they can get back to the correct year. Yep. I agree with everything you just said. Yeah. Adam says, yeah, my wife loves them. Wayne, I've been purchasing old games since 2003. Godet is in the house. Hey, Matt, normally when a channel is live streaming, I am on the main page of YouTube. I will see them jump to the top of my subscriptions list on the left sidebar with a red icon, but not yours. Wow. Very interesting that mine doesn't do that. Maybe it's because I schedule these streams. I don't know. That's weird. I will say my numbers are pretty low for Sunday. I'm at 16 watching, which is very low. I'm usually around 30 at this point, by almost half an hour into it. So weird. Adam says double sleeve top loading for time being. Got it. Says MTG Moxman is smaller than your channel and his has the red icon at the top of the list right now. Weird. That is odd. Yeah. Jason says would be cool to see your take on top 10 cards you won't be sorry to see go from rotation. Yeah, that could be a good video topic. You should look into why your channel doesn't get the red icon and why it doesn't jump to the top of the list. I could. That's not even something I knew was a thing at this point. I just thought that whatever I was getting was normal. I don't know. Yeah, but it is definitely lower than normal. Okay, it shows it now. There you go. I watched for 5 minutes and refreshed to make sure it wasn't temporary. Disregard my comments above. Wayne says millions and millions have produced. I would leave well alone. If you want to invest in games, buy something like Zelda Oracle of Ages and Season Limited Edition box set if you can find one. People watching that Jake Paul fight. Yeah, it's true. Only 500 made. That's investable. All right. Epidemic says, I feel like I have to check every week to see when you'll be streaming. If you can pick a time. Well, I used to typically do it at 4:45. That was the time that I would choose, but it was kind of an inconvenient time during the day for me because it was like right before dinner. So I ended up picking 7:45, 8-ish now is going to be my Sunday live stream. This is Toronto time, by the way, that I'm stating in this. I just feel like that's a better time for live streams for me because it's after dinner. That way we can have more of a celebration. I can crack a beer or two. And that way It's like a nice thing I can do before bed. So I'm going to stick to that for now. Let's say 7:45. That's going to be my typical live stream time, and we're going to do that moving forward. He's a Pokemon fella, so might have some views there. Yeah, possibly. Possibly. Hopefully my stream does not lag.